Hello, my name is Rose Gossin. I am an instructor with Ultimate Medical Academy. I'm here to share a lesson with you to enhance this week's content. I would like to welcome you to CI1000 Week 4. Congratulations on your work so far. This week, you will learn to illustrate your knowledge of APA formatting and plagiarism. Today's topic is what constitutes plagiarism. Plagiarism is using or attempting to use someone else's ideas or work in whole or in part as one's own without citation or other indication that the content is not one's original ideas or work. Quite frankly, plagiarism is a violation of the scholastic honesty policy. It may be intentional or unintentional. Some people may mistakenly plagiarize without a full understanding of what it is and the ramifications of committing plagiarism. There are several events that may lead or drive someone to tempt someone to commit plagiarism. Managing workload and balancing life can be very overwhelming, especially during these times. And it may cause someone to panic, resulting in poor choices that derail your success. There's also the fear of failure. Someone has all this time had a grade point average of 4.0, and now faced with this class and a series of life events, there's the fear that one could possibly fail the class or get a poor grade. That would cause someone to make a poor choice. And then there's the lack of preparation. Well, good intentions can sometimes lead to poor judgment. All of these things can lead to poor judgment. So what can we do? We need to understand that there are sources of plagiarism. What are the sources? There are books, papers, websites, journals, reports. There are many different types of sources of plagiarism. These are some of the primary sources. And those are sources where you have firsthand knowledge of the information that you're obtaining. But the key is to understand that there are many sources where information may lead someone to obtain information that could be used to plagiarize. Some of the most popular websites, according to CBS News or Wikipedia, Yahoo Answers, Answers.com, SlideShare, OPPapers.com, Course Hero. I'm sure you may have heard of some of these sources. As instructors, we are encouraged to remind you of the importance of plagiarism. You may have seen this infographic posted in your classroom, in your announcements, or perhaps it was posted in student resources. It's a simple document that's streamlined to show you what to do and what not to do, the do's and don'ts of scholastic honesty. So look for this infographic and keep it handy because it can help you to prevent plagiarism and other scholastic honesty policy violations. There are other behaviors that are worth our review as well that could lead to a scholastic honesty violation. The first one that we will look at is collusion. Collusion is allowing someone to copy one's own work to use as his or her own, including but not limited to posting or sharing one's own work on a website outside of the UMA course room. An example of that is if you have a paper that you have to write for an assignment, and you and four others or a couple of your buddies get together to submit your paper, and your papers, since you worked on them together, they're almost identical to each other. That is a form of collusion. So be careful. Duplication. Duplication is submitting the same work as someone else, including but not limiting to copying a discussion post written by another student or turning in copies of an assignment worksheet that's posted on a website. There are many websites that display information that seems very much like the worksheets or assignments that we have at Ultimate Medical Academy. But there's a problem. So do not copy them. Then there's duplication. An example of duplication is someone who submits an extra credit essay and then another person simply posts the same exact extra credit essay on their own for their own purposes. So you don't want to copy somebody else's work, especially making an exact copy of someone else's work. And lastly, there's cheating. Cheating is obtaining or attempting to obtain credit for work by dishonest or deceptive means. Look at the picture. As you can see, someone is passing information to another student in the classroom. Includes but is not limited to obtaining work from websites or other informational devices, such as a cell phone, where someone sends a text to you with the answer, and that person says, okay, I'm just checking a call, but all the time that person realizes or knows that they're getting the answers on a device. That's cheating. Here's an example. Someone takes the assessment test and writes the answers and then provides them to another person who has not taken the assessment test. That's a form of cheating. For those who plagiarize, there are consequences and corrective actions. Based on UMA policies on scholastic honesty, there are these corrective actions. For the first violation, the student would earn a 0 for the assignment in which the first infraction occurred. Now, this does not mean that it only applies to assignment. It could apply to any work that a student submits. The second scholastic honesty violation would earn a 0 for the course. And then the student would be required to retake the course. And lastly, the third scholastic honesty violation, students would then be expelled from Ultimate Medical Academy. We all realize that plagiarism is not worth it. Who would take a $100 bill and just burn it? No one that I know would do such a thing. So the words of wisdom to you is to check the source of information before you submit it. Do your own work and use your own words. If you are confused and don't know what to do, then ideally you would seek help from someone, your advisor, and primarily your instructor. They can help and direct you to what you should do so that you won't suffer the consequences of committing plagiarism. Because plagiarism is a serious violation, you can find more information on how to detect it and how to prevent it. As you reflect on this topic and prepare to do the work for the rest of this week, please refer back to this content. Look at the materials in your reading. Use the interactives in your course room. And use the UMA library to research on your own. And as you do this, we hope that all of this information will help you to maximize your learning at UMA. It is important that you realize that you can find more information at plagiarism.org. You can look in the Student Code of Conduct, and you can also refer to the information in your course room. And without a doubt, you can always ask your instructor. I'm hoping that this information will help you to be successful as you continue your journey in week 4. Thank you and keep going strong.